How do you like me now? Well, today we'll be talking about the Ahab. I got some requests to do this. The Ahab is a fascinating pen. I was very excited when it was launched. I got one straight away, not this one, I got a demonstrator, but this is a nice, what's this again, Arizona yellow or something? I like that finish a lot. People were excited because it was a flex pen. Noodlers means it's affordable. You can flex it, it has a big nib, ebonite feed, very fancy filling system, what people went pretty much crazy over, sort of a nice pump system, holds a lot of ink. You can throw it out completely, fill the whole barrel with ink to make it hold, I think, about 6 milliliters. That's a lot of ink. Very nice for doing flex writing, which just takes up a lot of ink. I think there were some really nice things about the Ahab. Is it a perfect pen? No. No, it's not. I've corresponded with a number of pen experts, some of whom are actually very experienced pen repairmen, and at least one of them said mine doesn't write. It doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter how I heat set the feed, how I carve the feed, how I set the nib, the thing just won't write. Well, I don't know whether that's a quality control issue or whatever, but hey, this is what I hear, so I'm passing that on to you. My personal experience, I've used two Ahabs, and there was one that Eric from FB Geeks gave me to do. I made that limited edition Ahab with that. All of those Ahabs wrote. So my personal experience is that the thing's right. Are they comparable to vintage flex? No, they're not. But you generally don't get vintage flex for $20. So, you know, I think these are decently made pens. Pretty much every part in the filling system is user replaceable, O-rings, etc. I think that's very cool. You can disassemble them completely, and you can fool around. Take any number 6 nib, you can put it on here, and you can make it work. Does that mean you'll get flex? No, a lot of these nibs are not flexy, but that's okay. So, I like the Ahab. I think it's a cool pen. If you really want excellent flex, you probably have to invest in some vintage 14K gold nib. But hey, it's a pretty cool pen. $20. It's hard to go wrong with that. So, I definitely like it. I'm going to show you a small writing sample, and then I'll draw the conclusion of whether or not I would buy this again. And that's how I like it now. So, the Ahab. Everyone was so excited when this thing arrived. I definitely think the Ahab has a lot going for it. Personally, I preferred it over the Conrad. Is this the world's greatest flex pen? Well, that really depends on your definition. I mean, if you want flex, get a vintage 14K gold nib and you will be surprised. However, you're likely to pay for that. I mean, you can get some cheap pens, say a Waterman 52, maybe 52.5 V or something. I've got one of those. I think I bought it for about $20, so that's the same price as this one. You will get more flex out of that, and it's smoother. With this pen, to make it flex, you really have to push down quite hard because it's steel and not gold. And as you can see, the feed keeps up reasonably well, but with this excessive type of flex, it starts to feather. And what you will probably see is that with a lot of vintage flex pens, that feed is a little bit more wet. But you can hack this feed, right? You can make the channel wider if you want to. Nathan Tardif, ink needs last forever. Or ink need lasts forever. I'm sorry, I forgot. That's his official channel. That's the maker of these pens. He has tricks on how to do that. Check out his videos. Very informative, very entertaining. So that's very cool. Now, to answer your question, do I still like this pen? The answer is yes. Give me vintage flex over this any day of the week, but hey, you're starting out, you want to experiment with flex, you could do worse than buying one of these pens. Because it's just $20. They're pretty good. I think that you got them in a bunch of colors. You can get them all kinds of colors. You can also fill this up as an eyedropper, get this out. It holds, I think, about 6 milliliters of ink, which is a huge amount. It's cool. You can modify it yourself. I really like the way it's made. And yes, You see now it runs dry a bit. Well, that's not a big issue. You can get the feed to start again fairly easily, and it will just do that. You can also use it for everyday writing. I mean, the fact that it is a flex pen doesn't mean you have to use it as a flex pen, and that is something that's nice about these pens, because you have to exert some pressure to make it flex. You can also use it unflex, whereas with some vintage nibs, the nib is so soft that even with the slightest bit of pressure you start to flex it. You may not always want to do that. So, final verdict, would I buy this again? Yes. I'm really not doing the pen justice here, I'm going too fast. Yes, I would buy it again, and if you prime the feed a little, I think we can do that again. Would I buy it again? Yes, absolutely. A lot of fun is to be had. That line variation is really cool, and it's definitely, I think, a well-made pen with a lot of options for customization. Throw in different number 6 nibs, hack the feed, turn it into an eyedropper, do all kinds of cool stuff with it. I think that's just really, really nice. So, I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.